Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with random reviews from the Overflow room. And we're still working with Mozart. Oh, goodness gracious. There is so much Mozart. How about this sucker? Sonatas for piano, four hands, or two pianos, with Martha Argerich and Alexandra Rabinovich. Yes, here they all are, and the Andante in 5 variations in G major as well. These are major works, actually. These big four-hand sonatas, Kochel 521 in C major, and the two pianos, one Kochel 448. Serious pieces. Mozart wrote them to play with his sister, Nannerl, and she was also quite gifted, and they probably had a great time doing it, and it looks like they do as well. It's on Teldec, so that's fun. And we've got flute concertos, or the concerto for flute and harp. These are wonderful performances, frankly, with Patrick Galois and Fabrice Pierre harp with the Swedish Chamber Orchestra. There is a harpsichord continuo, which is unnecessary. Patrick Galois and Katarina Andreasson are the directors, but they're lovely performances. They're on Naxos. The music is ephemeral. The concerto for flute and harp people really kind of like because it has a harp. Mozart hated both instruments. Sometimes you can tell. It's not his greatest music, but it's charming, and so be charmed. More Andrew Manzi with the English Concert. 3 violin concertos. These were the first Mozart violin concertos on period instruments that sold me, because Manzi's just such a great musician. He really is. These are beautiful, beautiful performances, and he does number 3, which has that gorgeous slow movement, and he plays it beautifully. Really, you're not so conscious of the fact that it's like period instrument. It doesn't whine and mew and complain like your cat in heat or anything like that. And you've got numbers 3, 4, and 5. And this is from the dawn of Manzi's career as a conductor, and he was still performing then, obviously, in 2006 on Harmonia Mundi. First class, absolutely first class. The Griffin Trio, the complete piano trios on Analecta. Mozart's piano trios are great. Few people know them. They are the first unabashedly great modern piano trios. Haydn's are different. Haydn's are great music, but they are more accompanied trios. It was only at the very end of his career that Haydn started writing piano trios in the classical sense with independent parts for everybody. In Haydn, the cello plays the bass line of the piano. The violin part gradually becomes independent. So they are sort of accompanied piano sonatas or accompanied violin sonatas, depending on how you want to look at them. But they are amazing music. Mozart's trios from the beginning are true classical trios in which each part is necessary and independent, and they are fabulous and totally underrated. And they're very nicely played here by the Griffin Trio and on Analecta. So that's nice to have. You should have the Mozart trios. You really should. 11 overtures with the Staatskapelle Dresden under Hans Vonk. It's a nice disc. It was on Laserlight. It cost like $2. It was super cheapy, extra budget. And you've got like all the overtures you could ever want. I mean, 11 of them. They're all here. Let's see. You've got Magic, Flute, Marriage of Figaro, Ascanio and Alba, Idomeneo, The Impresario, Così fan tutti, The Abduction from the Seraglio, La Finta Giardiniera, Lucio Silla, La Clemenza de Tito, Don Giovanni. It's the Staatskapelle Dresden. Vonk knows how to do it. We're in business. And for like $2, what a deal that was. Idomeneo, Re di Creta, Karl Böhm with the Staatskapelle Dresden. Yay. Anything with that orchestra. You've got a lovely cast here. Wiesław Ochmann, Peter Schreier, Edith Mathis, Julia Varady, Hermann Winkler, Eberhard Buchner, Siegfried Vogel, and some other people who we don't really need to care about. 3 discs. It's still cut rather substantially in places. But it's, when this was done, nobody cared about Idomeneo, right? This was recorded in 79. Since then, the period instrument people have got a hold of it. The scholars have got a hold of it. It's all been built up, and there's a lot more of it that you can get in most recordings. But this is still worth hearing for some really first-rate singing. Absolutely first-rate singing. Julia Varady's Electra is really, really hot, and Schreier and Mathis and Ochmann, I mean, they're very fine singers, and Böhm keeps it moving. Great. Moravec, Ivan Moravec, Mozart, the Fantasia in C minor, Kochel 475, the Sonatas 14 and 16, And then we've got some Brahms and some Beethoven, short Beethovens. For Elise is on here. And a bagatelle. So these were recorded in 1967 through 70. These are on VAI audio. I wonder if these were old Connoisseur Society recordings. I don't remember. But it's Moravec's, and it's gorgeous. Everything he does is gorgeous. It's worth having if you can dig it out. So look at this. Peter Maag doing Mozart beautifully. The Serenata Notturna. The Notturno for 4 orchestras. The Overture to Lucio Silla. 4 interludes from Thamos, König in Ägypten. The Symphony number 32 in G minor. 6 German dances. These are classic performances, and Maag was just wonderful in this music. So it's a Decca legend, right? Yeah, from 1959 with the London Symphony. Yay, London Symphony. Got it right. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, symphonies 38, 39, 40, 41 with Harnoncourt, the Chamber Orchestra of Europe. Harnoncourt's Mozart is weird. He gets into his rhetoric thing, and he pushes and pulls and does strange tempos. And I'm not quite sure why he does all this. And I recorded these with the Concerto as well, if I'm not mistaken. And those were weirder than these. I think these are a little less odd, but it's weird. I just don't find him convincing in Mozart. Others may disagree. I kept it because it's Harnoncourt, and he was kind of a genius, but, like Stokowski, and even when he's bizarre, he's kind of interesting. So I hang on to it. And then we've got Brendel and Macaris doing concertos again. 20 and 24, the 2 minor key ones. Heavy duty stuff. Now, one of these, we already talked about, the one with number 27, as one of the greatest recordings ever. So yes, you know what to expect here. Macaris is amazing in the accompaniments. Brendel is in his element. He recorded all this stuff before. These are by no means less imaginative or interesting. Actually, they're more so in some respects than his earlier versions, and they're just beautiful. His late Mozart recordings are some of the best things he did, I think. So there you go. Plenty of Mozart. Keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.